It took 50 days, but Joe Biden and Democrats have finally passed their $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. This is the third relief bill. Yeah. Since the start of the pandemic, the House passed a version of the bill previously. Then the Senate over the weekend passed a slightly different version. That's the version which yesterday the House of Representatives passed, making this a done deal with Joe Biden's imminent signature. The money will start going out soon. Here is the moment that the bill passed in the House of Representatives yesterday.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 211. The motion is adopted. Section motion.
Now, you will note that the bill passed with 220 Democratic yes votes, one Democrat voting no, and all Republicans who voted voting no. Not a single Republican voted for the COVID relief bill in the Senate. Not a single Republican voted for the COVID relief bill in the House of Representatives. 75% of the country, which means tens of millions of Republican voters, 75% of the country supports the bill, and yet not one Republican voting in favor. Who exactly are Republicans representing? Because clearly they are not representing their own constituents. But let's focus on what is in the bill. There's the part for individuals, and then there's the part for state governments and organizations. For individuals, there will be cash payments up to $1,400 for people earning up to $80,000, or $120,000 for single parents, or $160,000 for couples. Now, to get the full $1,400, the income limit is $75K per person. It will start phasing out, but you get something all the way up to $80,000 as an individual, $120,000 if you are a single parent, and $160,000 in income for couples. Dependent college students and dependent older relatives also count here. That was not the case in previous bills. Enhanced unemployment is part of this, $300 per week of extra unemployment above and beyond what your state offers if you are unemployed. That is extended through the 6th of September, and then up to $10,200 of unemployment benefits received in 2020 are tax-free for household incomes up to $150,000. In general, unemployment benefits are taxable income subject to your total family's household income. In general, you pay taxes on unemployment income if you earn $140,000 a year in income, because that is a tax bracket at which you pay taxes. In this particular case, up to $10,200 of unemployment benefits from last year would be tax-free, assuming your household income is under $150,000. The child tax credit is being increased up to $3,000 per child, and $3,600 for kids 5 years of age and under. And the limit, the age limit for the child tax credit also being increased from 16 to 17, which will include many additional children. So there's a few other things for individuals. That's the bulk of what has been passed for individuals, maybe like you, depending on your financial and family situation. And then at the larger level, the bill also includes, among other things, $350 billion for state, local, and tribal governments for pandemic response and reaction, $10 billion for critical state infrastructure, $14 billion for vaccine distribution, very important, $130 billion for primary and secondary schools, very important, and this will come up again later, schools that want to open, but they need money in order to be able to do the things that the CDC has designated should be done for schools to open safely. $30 billion for transit agencies, also very much affected by low ridership as a result of the pandemic, and $45 billion in rental, utility, and mortgage assistance. So it took 50 days. It's $1,400, totaling $2,000 if you include the stimulus from 6 months ago, rather than $2,000. Doesn't include the $15 minimum wage. But Republicans wanted to pass nothing. And we have this ongoing question. Will Republicans be held accountable by voters electorally? nearly 2 years from now in 2022, I believe the answer is no, even though 75% of the country wants the bill and not a single Republican voted for it. Voters have short memories, quite frankly. That's basically what it is. I even think that if the 2020 election had been in 2021, even in November of 2021, I think things will have been better enough that Donald Trump's disastrous handling of the pandemic might not actually have seen him removed from office. That's how short I believe voter memories are, particularly Republicans who go back very quickly to these sort of reflexive and meaningless anti-left talking points. But that is what is in the bill. We expect money to start going out possibly within 48 hours of Joe Biden's signature, which is imminent, maybe even happening today. Maybe it will already have happened even by the time you listen to today's show or watch this clip. The more we learn about various diets around the world, the more we realize that some of the healthiest diets where folks are living the healthiest and the longest are heavily plant-based. And one of our sponsors, Just Egg, is a great place to start. Just Egg cooks and tastes just like real eggs, but it's made from plants. It has less saturated fat, no cholesterol, packed with protein. I've been cooking with Just Egg at home, and you can use it in so many different ways, just like traditional eggs, omelets, scrambled eggs, French toast, banana bread, one of my favorite dishes, pad thai. It also is better for the planet, generating 93% fewer carbon emissions and 98% less water than conventional eggs. You can find Just Egg at lots of grocery stores, Whole Foods, Kroger, Amazon Prime Now, and Instacart. Check it out. Just Egg really is a great product from a company with a great mission, and I'm really glad that they're a sponsor of the show.